welcome back to Japan, where we're going to be doing a reaction review to NOANOWA with Hurry Up. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Anyway, as you guys probably know, if you've been following the channel since we came back with this new channel of ours, we have had to change the format slightly. So in other words, as you probably already know, I'm about to give you the review. I've already done the reaction. If you want to see the reaction that I just did live, then follow that by clicking on the little link in the description below, which will open a separate player where you can watch the reaction right now before I give you the review. So if you want to go click that link and watch the reaction, you can. But here comes the review. You ready for the review? If you're not, I'm going to count it down on my fingers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you pause this video? No. Too late. Here's time for the review. Alright, so if you just saw my reaction, which hopefully you did, then you'll know that I was kind of taken by this one. I wasn't expecting what I got. It really sort of shocked me when it came in. Right from the get-go, it's got this kind of dreamy, spacey feel. Now, obviously, it's all played over, well, 90% of the song is played over this sort of, what appears to be 3 guys with the soft mallets beating on the drums, possibly like a timpani or something like that, and it's got a real sort of, like a marching boom, 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 boom beat throughout. However, that beat is always kept in the lower frequencies. It's got just enough of a mid-range frequency for you to hear that it's physically a drum and not a synthetic beat, but it's kept in the lower frequencies because the majority of the song on the top layer is actually very sort of spacey, smooth sounds, which means that overall the song, it has this chugging core underneath, but it's actually quite a smooth sounding song. The singer's voice is not overly worked. She sort of sings in a breathy way where you can hear her voice. And that's kind of nice in that it gives a sort of sense of passion, a sense of emotion to the proceedings. And it also adds a slight air of tension to things. I mean, tension not in a negative way, but, you know, it adds a sort of, that, like I said, a sort of breathy feel to it. And so, you know, overall, this is one where the feeling is very much like that. It's got that sort of spacey, almost, you feel like you could end up in an Enya territory with this. Most of the sounds that are actually happening are like you've got string synthesizers being played, you know, long held notes underneath everything. You've got a slightly sparkly synthesizer that I noticed as well going on through there. You've got the backing vocals, which seem to just be sort of repeating, hurry up, hurry up. That's done in a very sort of big, smooth way. Everything about this is very, 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 very smooth. And yet, whereas it could get into the territory of things like Enya, which in my opinion, no, obviously I can't judge an entire catalogue, but it can get a little bit boring and a little bit, you know, lacking in direction. This is powered by that constantly pounding drum beat, which, like I say, is never given so much range over the frequency as to become aggressive and sort of overpowering, and yet is given just enough sort of impact and space in the lower end of the mix of the song to give everything a sense of drive and keep it moving along. So it's kind of like almost like a sort of pounding sound underneath everything. Yeah, and that's what's really nice. And it does work very well. And I think that the end result is something that to me sounds quite unique. You can hear a lot of inspirations. You can see a lot of bits which on their own might be derivative, but the overall sound comes across as quite unique, quite special. And I like that. I think it worked well. I think that the singer delivered it really well. There are some catchy parts to the melody, but overall I'd say the melody is more nice than it is particularly memorable. You can remember the backing vocal bit because it repeats quite a few times in different parts of the song, especially the chorus. So that kind of gets to that hurry up, to do it again. That gets stuck in your head more than the actual melody of the song does. There was a couple of little runs in the melody which were quite memorable, but as a general, it was more the sound. The sound of the song really worked. And so that, for me, is kind of a positive sign. I actually quite enjoyed this. I'd be really interested, given how this went, I'd be really interested to hear what the rest of the artist's material is like. Because, you know, I mean, I can't imagine it's all like this sort of pumping fast stuff with a soft top over it all. I can't imagine it's all soft and sweet. Maybe it is. It'd be really interesting to know how the rest of her, I'm assuming it's her. I don't know if it's just a person or a band. I'm assuming it's a solo artist. It'd be interesting to know how the rest of the material differs from this. Although, if it is a band and the other 3 members are all timpani players or drum players, then that probably would suggest a similar tone to all of the songs. I don't think that's the case, though. So, yeah, I thought this was good. I would definitely recommend this to people who want to hear something a little bit different, who want to hear something which maybe is a bit unexpected and yet is also fairly easy to get into. Like I say, it's not going to be memorable so much for a catchy melody or hook or chorus or anything like that. So much it is just for that sort of nice, big sort of energetic and yet very smooth feeling that it gave. That lovely juxtaposition in the sort of core theory of the song makes it fun. I'm not saying it's the only song that does that, but it does it in quite a nice, refreshing way. So that is definitely the thing that would most make me want to come back to this, is thinking, hey, I want to listen to something a bit different. Hey, that's a cool one. I want to listen to something smooth, but I want to listen to something that isn't going to set me to sleep. When your ears require a little bit of a relax, but at the same time, you're not in the mood for chilling out. It's a good one for that. It's a kind of a strange niche to fill, but it's a good mood filler. I'm sure there will be exact times when I'll be in the mood for this song more than anything else, and that's always a positive thing. So yeah, really interesting. Looking forward to hearing more by this artist, certainly. Got to say, the video was much of a muchness. I mean, it certainly gave the impression of something that wasn't produced on a huge budget, but was produced with the right sort of sense of care, with little filters and the way that the camera cut and the lighting and everything. It was just enough to keep this interesting, enough to get you through the song. I was really impressed. The song was like 4.5 minutes, and although I wasn't a big fan of the fact it faded out, I think it could have done with a proper ending. I think it could have certainly had a nice dramatic ending where just everything blasted into held notes, or just something to like properly finish the song. Despite that fact, I think that it really churned through 4.5 minutes really well, and the video played along with that quite well, considering there was so little actually in the final analysis that was in the video. It was quite impressive how well it managed to get through that time as well. Just everything worked really well along together. Most likely because of the fact it was powered by that beat, and also the fact that it had a nice thick arrangement. Songwriting wise, yeah, so songwriting, I wouldn't say that this is in any way anything special. I would say that what this is a great example of good production, great mix, and a really good songwriting theory, if you know what I mean. And that sometimes is a really cool thing. Sometimes you can do a song without having to be particularly detailed or do any particularly clever tricks, just having a good theory to start with, and you end up with a song that just kind of works from that. And I think that's what this effectively was. Nicely played as well. Credit to the singer. She did a fantastic job. I really like this. I'm looking forward to hearing more and looking forward to hearing where the rest of their material goes. Anyway, my core point is that was a good one. So thank you so much for suggesting that to me, guys. As always, if you want to give more suggestions, you can do that. Primarily, Reddit is the best place. Please go on our Reddit to give more song suggestions. You can also do it on our Discord, but that's mainly for, we've got some great discussions going on there, so follow the discussions on Discord, definitely. But first and foremost, whether you're new to the song before or not, whether you liked it or not, get in the comments. You can like, dislike this video if you want to. You can subscribe. That would be much appreciated. But get involved in the discussion either way. That's what keeps this channel so special, is that we have wonderful discussions with you guys. I give my opinions, but music is all about the objective, subjective. It's all about all these things. You can view it from two ways. So I want to hear your opinions. As always, this was a really interesting one. I think it deserves a little bit of a chin wag, a little bit of a discussion to go along with it. And as always, a massive thank you to our Patreon followers for keeping this channel basically alive after we had to shut down before. Massive thank you. You keep everything looking good and everything alive for us. So anyway, for now, thank you so much for following me to the end of the video, and until I see you hopefully soon on the next video, ciao ciao.